In this video, you're going to learn how to add a profile image to your Instagram account that's going to attract your audience. So what I'd recommend you do is you click in and open up the top influencers that you have already added to your accounts. And it's in here that you can see the profile images that they are using. Now for this example account, I'm just creating an account where I'm the face of my business and I may be a personal finance planner. So what I can see here is that because it's more of an account where I'm the face of my business and I've followed these top influencers, they're all using personal profile images. And if I scan down through these 5 accounts, personally, the one that grabs my attention the most is this one at the bottom, Dave Ramsey here. And I think he's done a couple of things particularly well in this photo, which I wanted to point out because these are best practices that you should use for yourself. So the first thing is that here, he has got a very clear background. It's a bright color. So it really does, his face really pops off the page. Also, the picture is very close in terms of it's cropped quite close. So we really get a good picture of his face. He's also, I think, dressed in an appropriate way that's going to appeal to his audience. So if we read his bio here, it says America's trusted voice on money. So obviously trust is very important, being an authority. And you can see he's wearing a suit and a shirt and he's got glasses on. So he looks smart. He's kind of an older guy. And so this is kind of a perfect profile image, which I think would really attract his audience because they would see him as an authority. And it's obviously a professional photo. It's easy to recognize him. And it kind of suits the type, he's wearing the type of thing that his audience would expect. If he was in his gym clothes, well, it wouldn't be obvious that we're talking really about business and money. So that is a great example of someone doing it really well. Let's have a look at some of these other guys. We can look at Tim Ferriss here. Now, I think personally for me, you can see that he's quite a bit of a distance back from the camera. He's pointing to his t-shirt, which I don't understand what that's about. And it's also just hard to recognize in the background of that image is obviously him standing in maybe a house or something like that. I don't really know what's going on there. So you can see it doesn't pop off the page as much. Now in his profile page here, it's probably still recognizable as him. But if we go to a kind of an individual post, you can see he appears much smaller at the top of the page. So it's much harder to recognize that as him. And so that's really the difference between the two that we've seen there. And maybe he could improve that a lot by just following more similar to what Dave Ramsey is doing here. A much closer shot of the face and maybe a clear background that really pops off. Obviously, he doesn't have to be in a suit if that's not what is really going to attract his audience and what his audience expects to see. Now, there's some other ones here. You can see that Gary Vaynerchuk, this is a picture of him in the front of a magazine, which is quite a clever use of it, gives him some social proof. But again, I can't really read any of that. And maybe just a closer picture of the face would be better. So in terms of your personal profile picture, again, to recap, some of the best practices, keep that shot of the face pretty close. I wouldn't bother putting any text in there. Try and have a clear background if you can, and dress appropriately to what your audience would expect. Now, it doesn't have to be business clothes. If you're into fitness, you could be in your fitness clothes or whatever. So that is a personal profile picture, and always have a look at top influencers in your niche to really understand what they're doing. Now let's have a look at some actual business accounts. So I want to show you a company here called HubSpot, and I think they've done it quite well. You can see actually they've got a number of accounts on Instagram here, and what they've done is they just have one background color and then a color for their logo. So only 2 colors, and I'd recommend you follow that as well. And then also you can see there's no text in there. It's very simple. Even if we click in to look at one of their posts, in the top left hand corner here, it's still instantly recognizable as them, and it really pops off the page. Now I want to show you another account that maybe isn't done as well. just so you have that comparison again. So this company, Tents Tile, actually pretty interesting company. They kind of have these tents that you tie up. So pretty cool e-commerce company. But you can see their logo here. It is two colors, but it's black and white. And they have text on it also. And that looks okay on their profile page. But then when we come into one of their posts, you can see it's black on white, so it doesn't really pop off the page in the top left-hand corner. And also that text becomes unreadable then. There's no real need to include any text because the name of the account is right there. So my opinion would be for them to change that logo, maybe have an orange on white, and just keep that kind of image, remove the text, and I think that would pop off a lot more on the page, be more recognizable when people see these type of posts in their newsfeed. So for a business account as well, there are those best practices. And if you want to come back and have a look at a good example, HubSpot, you can see that they've done it well. There's no text, just one color, and they've used bright colors to make sure it really pops off the white background that is on Instagram. So once you have decided what profile picture you want to use, to actually add the profile picture, you want to come in, click on Settings, the top right hand corner, Edit Profile, and then you can change your profile image. Now you have the option here to import it from Facebook, Twitter, etc., or choose from your library, which I'm going to do. Now I've got a picture that I've uploaded to my phone before, and this is as I've kind of recommended, just two simple colors, and just using this for a setup demo account. And I think that looks pretty good. I can click done, and I just need to confirm my email, which I'll do now. And then I can just click done. So if we come back to my profile, you can see now the profile image is loaded up. I think it really does pop off the page. Got a bright color background, and that is how you really add a profile image to your Instagram account. So now it's your turn. Go ahead and add either a personal profile picture or a business logo to your Instagram account following the steps and best practices that you've learned in this video.